भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Mundaka Upanishad. We had completed the study of the 41st shloka in continuation, or the 9th shloka of the second chapter of the second Mundaka. The shloka goes as such. Vidyate hridaya granthi छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशया क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि तस्मिन् दृष्टे परावरे. This was the shloka that we studied during the last discourse. I told you then that I may need a little more time to discuss it further so that we can relate it to our own method of sadhana or method of self-imposed discipline to reach that goal. This shloka tells you what happens to you when you reach that goal. What is that goal? You know your true, real, original nature. Your real swabhava, your own real nature. And what is your own real nature? As far as words can go, as far as words can mean anything to you, your real nature is defined as Sat Chit Ananda Swarup Atma. You are Sat Swarup, that is, you are ever existent. That is not a quality, it is your true real nature. You are beyond the effect of time and space. You are infinite, you are eternal. And you are always aware, I am, I exist. That is satta. That is my awareness of amness is sat swarupata. Awareness of my amness. I am aware, I am aware, I exist. Amness is an expression of existence. And I am aware. I am conscious. Spontaneously. Nobody ever tells me what is it. I am spontaneously aware. I exist. Awareness and existence inseparably exists together, which is my true original nature. The more you progress towards that originality of your own true original nature, the coverings of ignorance, known as sheaths, kosha, sword is kept in a sheath. That is a sheath. Sheath protects the covers of the original look and activity of the sword, but the sword remains there unattached, undisturbed, but it is covered up. This covering is the concept of the word kosha. Just like a sheath covers the sword, similarly, ignorance of our true original nature covers up our understanding of our true original nature. So, Swatswarupata and Chitswarupata, that is eternal existence and awareness of that existence. I am aware, I am. It is Sasambedya Chaitanya. That is the excellence of the Sanskrit language. It has the capacity to describe precisely and perfectly the subtlest difference of ideas between each other, a hair-splitting difference. What is this awareness of my existence? How does it happen? Does it need anybody's help to know? No, it is self-awareness. I know I am. This self-awareness is explained in Sanskrit as Swa-Sambedya. Self, Sa is self, by yourself. Sambedya is totally experienced Chaitanya, awareness. I am aware, I am. Satsarupata and Chitsarupata are blended together, are all together, and it is always manifesting itself in me by this experience of mine translated into words. I am, I exist, I am aware, I exist. Sa Sambedya Chetana, Sa Sambedya Chaitanya. Self-awareness, self-evident awareness. You don't need anybody's help. And I, in a lighter vein, keep on telling you to convince you how strong this self-evident conviction is. Even if God comes and tells me now, Sridharananda, in your true real state of existence, you don't exist. I will have my courage of conviction to tell him politely, dear Lord, you are a very busy man. You have to look after the whole universe. Please don't try to change my conviction. I am, I exist. My conviction is so strong. Sa Sambedya Chaitanya. My awareness of my amness is self-evident and so strong that nothing in this world can shake it. This is a Sat Swarup, Chit Swarup, Ananda Swarup Atma. Sat Swarupata and Chit Swarupata, awareness of my existence always comes in the forefront. It is always manifest in me. Ananda Swarupata is not. Why? Because I have a filter in me. That filter allows Satsarupata to come through, Ananda Swarupata to come through. Satsarupata comes through, Chaitanya Swarupata comes through, but not the Ananda Swarupata. The filter prevents it behind. And what is that filter? Desire of the things of the world. that desire stops my Ananda Swarupata to percolate through that filter and comes in my presence. Whereas Satta and Chetana, Sasamvedyata, comes through. The purpose then is to get rid of that desire. To get rid of that desire, to remove that filter, to remove that obstacle. As soon as you remove that, you are established in the majesty, the magnificence, the greatness of your own soul. Swe mahimne pratishtita. You are established, you are ensconced in your own glory. Swe mahima, mahimne, plural. What is mahima? Mahima is your glorious, your gracious existence. You'll be poised in the majesty, the excellence, the graciousness of your own true original nature. The 9th shloka has described this to you, which we partially studied in our last discourse. Let me follow it up and then go ahead. Vidyate Hridaya Granthi. I've been hearing for the last 8 shlokas, including the example of a bow and an arrow and a target, and we have discussed it enough. We have been listening to that. And the main theme of those previous shlokas were, please discipline yourself and put your heart and soul and your total effort behind this pursuit. This is what we have been listening up to the last shloka, the 7th shloka of the 2nd chapter of the 2nd Mundaka. Good enough. Now it is time for me to ask with all humility and modesty. You are always, dear Lord, the teacher of the Upanishad, Maharishi Angirasha, you are always after me, telling me what I must do. And it does not sound to be very easy. Could you tell me what is this pursuit all about? What do I stand to gain if I follow your instructions and if I work hard to reach that goal? What do I stand to gain? It's a very logical, relevant, pertinent question of an aspiring soul who is being inspired to work hard and harder and harder so that he reaches that goal. He is within his rights to know, what do I achieve thereby? The 9th shloka is a description of what will you achieve. What will happen to you? And as I keep on telling, Sri Ramakrishna used to make fun of those so-called intellectuals. They always wanted to have some miracle to happen to be a man, reach that goal. To be a realized soul, you must have something miraculous or something special in you. So Sri Ramakrishna used to say, how do you identify a realized soul? Should he grow 2 horns and a long tail in a human body to convince you he is a realized soul? It is nothing else but the inner transformation of your personality. This egocentric personality, by constant effort, backbreaking, unrelenting, uninterrupted effort, Saturate your whole personality with the awareness of presence of the true original nature. I am Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. What I know as myself as Sridharananda is a mistaken identity. My identity is I am the Atma. That is the goal. And what happens to you? Read this shloka. Hridaya Granthi Vidyate. The knots and knots and knots of ignorance with which I have bound myself over and over again, all that is torn asunder. There remains no trace of ignorance. Ajnana lesha. Lesha means the slightest tinge. There will be no trace of ignorance left in your understanding. Ignorance about what? About your true original nature. Hridaya Granthi Vidyate. Stored asunder the knots and knots and knots of ignorance with which I have wrapped up myself. The next, what will happen to you? Chidyante sarva samsaya. In our worldly life, we are always in doubt. We are always suspicious. We are always hesitant. Is it true or is it not true? Is it real? Is it not real? Is it rewarding or it is not rewarding? We are swinging like a pendulum between yes and no. All that suspicion of what you are achieving will disappear into thin air. Chidyante sarva sansaya. The last trace of doubt will disappear for your mind as you are convinced today, I am Sridharananda. With a more equal conviction, more greater conviction, you will say, I am Satchidananda Swarup Atma. Sarva samsaya chidyante. All your doubts will be absolutely washed away. Shiyante cha asya karmani. The third stage. What is that? Asya karmani cha. Over and above all that. Shiyante asya karmani. Shiyante means slowly and slowly and slowly it disappears. What disappears? Your karma and that infallible law of karma and karma phala which has a hold on you. I am a victim of my past karmas. Why? Because I had identified myself with that karma. Therefore, I will have to suffer the results of it, not a third party. I have done it with my involvement, so I will receive the result. So I am a victim of my past karmas. That hold of karma on me, as I process and process and process, or as I progress and progress and progress, the hold of that karma will slowly and slowly dissipate itself, will slowly and slowly vanish away by diminishing itself. Up to what? Till the moment you experience Aham Brahmasmi. That very moment, all your past karmas are absolutely disappeared, evaporated. Shiyante chasya karmani. How does it happen? This is a statement of the Upanishad. Hridaya granthi bhidyate sarva sansaya chidyante sarva karmani kshiyante. Sarva karmani. All the baggage that you carry, baggage of your karma phala, your sanchita karma and your prarabdha karma. The prarabdha karma has started giving result by taking this body. And in this body, you get that realization. I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this prana, I am not this buddhi, I am not this ego. I am what I am. Experienceable, not describable. I have slowly and slowly uncovered myself. So what happens at the last moment when you uncover yourself, your identity with your activities are no more there. Your identity has shifted from the jiva to the Shiva. So that is the breaking point. All your karma and all the karmas that you have performed in this life, whether it is Shubha karma or Ashubha karma, whatever it may be, it breaks because the identity has broken. I don't identify myself with this body-mind complex anymore. I have identified myself with Ayam Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. Satchidananda Sarupoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am Satchidananda Sarup. Till that point, all your karma has disappeared. But your body remains if Parameshwara so wills. There are two types of mukti. Jivana mukti, videha mukti, krama mukti. Three types. It falls off. The trauma of that experience is so unbearable by this body-mind structure that it just disintegrates. Just like anything under a waterfall cannot bear that pressure of that water, disintegrates, blows into smithereens, your body. In 21 days, it just gets uncoordinated. The coordinating factor is your identity with your ego. That identity is lost, the coordination is lost, and the body withers away as a dry leaf on a tree in 21 days. That is how Sri Ramakrishna explains. Shiyante chasya karmani. When does it happen? Tasmin drishte. Experience that which is both in you and also inside this world. It is one integrated entity. The diversity is the creation of your ignorance. This is what happens to you. Tasmin drishte parabare. Now let me paraphrase it for you. Having experienced that which is both in you and in this whole world, the causal effect, the cause and its effect, everything included, when you are aware of that integrated whole, vidyate hridaya granthi, sarva sanshaya chidyante, karmani chakshiyanti, sarva karmani kshiyanti. When does it happen? Tasmin drishte, when you have experienced that in your lifetime. This is the end result of your spiritual sadhana. Good enough? We have covered the 9 shlokas. Now 3 more shlokas remain. What are those 3 shlokas? Hiranmaye pare koshe virajam brahmanishkalam tat shubhra tat jyoti sham jyoti tat yat atma vido vidu. And then natatra shurjo bhati rachandra taraka nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagni tameva bhasha tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasha sarvavidam vibhaiti. And brahme vedam visham, the last one. These 3 shlokas, they dilate, they develop the 9th shloka. The 9th shloka is a summation, a description as far as the words could describe that exalted state of realization. Now, the remaining 3 tries to explain that state in such a manner that we try everywhere, finding out something, looking here, looking there, to see how to find it, and you find it out. Your look, your vision has reached the goal. These 3 shlokas tells you what is that goal, at the same time how to reach that goal. Instructive, descriptive. It is instructive as well as it is descriptive. Let me say, go ahead slowly. Shloka number 10. Hiranmaye prare koshe birajam brahma nishkalam. Let us stop here. Birajam nishkalam brahma vartate, exists. Where? Hiranmaye pare koshe. Kosha is a seed. And what is the seed? It is as bright as gold, with a golden effulgence. He is ensheathed there to a realized soul. What does it mean? It means one of the detailed description of some of the Gita in the Upanishad. He is paraphrasing it or he is summarizing it. What does he say? Pare koshe. Para means sublime. After that, there is no sheath. The last sheath, the sublime sheath. What type of sheath it is? It is as bright, as shining as a golden sheath. This is what he says. Please wait. let us get into the concept of the 5 sheaths, in which, because of our ignorance of ourselves, we have covered ourselves. What are those 5? Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, and Anandamaya kosha. 5. Anna, Prana, Mana, Vijnana, Anand. Now, these are the words, and there's nothing better to explain, to find out an appropriate example. And in the Gita we find Sri Krishna says, Jatha Adarsha Malenacha. Adarsha is a flawless, excellent Belgian mirror. When we were children, Belgian glass was supposed to be the best in the world. So Belgian mirror was absolutely the sublime, the supreme. Let us say a faultless mirror. Now that mirror has been lying unused for decades together. And because of moisture and because of domestic dirt, layer after layer after layer of dirt has accumulated on the mirror. One day in a spring cleaning of the house, somebody finds out that mirror with that gold brocade frame and all that and the size and shape. He is convinced it must be a mirror, but he tries to look his face in it. He sees no reflection there. What has happened? The mirror has been covered up by layers and layers and layers of dirt and dust. Though the reflectivity of the mirror is inherent in the mirror, but because of that thick coating of dirt, mirror has lost its reflectivity. This is the example. What do? You run for a glass cleaner, a sprayer. You spray it on the glass area and very carefully with the softest muslin piece of cloth and with the softest touch, you slowly and slowly and slowly mop it clean. As the thickness of the dirt is thinned away by cleaning, you see the reflectivity of the mirror is showing through. And before the mirror is perfectly clean, the subtlest coating of dirt is still on the mirror. The mirror is already shining. You see your face in that mirror. There may be a little distortion, but the reflectivity of the mirror has been reinstated. This is an example. I am. You ask me, who are you? And I identify myself by throwing my passport on your face. See, who am I? And then, because of my ego, I throw him a sheet of paper, a file, about my achievements in this world, my biodata and my curricularity. That is what I am. What does the passport say? Who are your parents who gave birth to this body? When that body arrived in this world? And how does it look at the present day, the day the passport was issued? That's what my identity is. Annamaya kosha is to identify yourself with this physical body. This is a sheath, a covering, a layer of dirt which obstructs your true original nature, your real face on the mirror. Annamaya kosha, physical body. Manomaya kosha, the mental body. I have a mind and identify myself with my mind. I don't disidentify myself. My mind is sad. My mind is happy. My mind is angry. And I identify, say, I am happy, I am angry, I am sad. Manomaya kosha, another sheath, one after the other. Pranamaya kosha, the life force in me. I am alive, I am kicking. Vijnanamaya kosha, my intellect, rationality. I am a rational being. I have the capacity to think. I am a thinker. And Anandamaya kosha is the ego. Ego devoid of identifying with the body, with the mind, with the life forces, with your rationality. Ego, plain and simple. I am. Swamiji, in his poem known as Samadhi, he says that I am, that separateness with the cosmos, slowly and disappeared. And that experience happens which is beyond Bhakya Mana Agochara. That is, you cannot describe it, but you can experience it. So Hiranmaya Kosha here in the scripture is another name of Anandamaya Kosha. When you have been able to disidentify yourself with your body, with your mind, with your life forces, with your intellect, but your awareness, I am meditating on my God. You and your God, nothing exists. And because nothing more exists, the splendor of your own true original nature shines forth. That is why the scripture says it shines like a golden sheet with effulgence of pure gold. Hiranmaya pare koshe, under that covering, your true original nature, which is Virajan, Nishkalan, Brahma, now add to complete the sentence, Vartate, he remains. Your true original nature, at that time, in depth of your samadhi, what is samadhi? Absolute, undisturbed flow of the same thought over and over again, that this is my true original nature, Sat Sarup, Chit Sarup, Ananda. And you enjoy the splendor, the magnificence of your true original nature. Birajam means without any dirt, beyond Trigunatmika Maya. Raja here is Trigunatmika Maya, beyond that. Nishkalam, space cannot partition it. Time cannot partition it, space cannot partition it. It is Maya Atita Avastha. You have gone beyond the domain of Maya. Bhartate, he exists where? Hiranmaye pare koshe nishkalam birajam brahma bhartate. Hiranmaye pare koshe birajam brahma nishkalam. That's the first line. What's the second line? Tat shubhra, tat jyotisham yoti, tat yat atmavida vidu. Read the line again. Tat shubhram, that is absolute white, taintless white. Thereby, the significance is it is absolutely unpolluted, untarnished, taintless. Therefore, it is pure. Tat Shubhra. And the next point is very, very interesting to understand. Jyotisham Jyoti. Tat Shubhra, Tat Jyotisham Jyoti. It is the splendor behind all splendors of the world. All splendors of the world. What are those splendors? What are those, I would say, effulgences? Sun is effulgent. Without the light of the sun, we don't see anything. For me, in the worldly essence, sun is the ultimate source of effulgence. What happens at night when the sun has sunk below the west? What happens? I'm very clever and smart. I said, well, moon is my source of effulgence. Rabhavastamite, when the sun sets, what is your source of splendor? What is your source of effulgence? Sun has set. Why? Moon. What about the dark phase of the moon? That day when moon doesn't appear at all? I think over and I say, why? Lightning. And when it doesn't cause any lightning, fire. And if I don't allow you to burn a fire, why? The fireflies. See, I'm trying to justify that everything in the world is self-evident. But you say, I understand. You say, I experience. And the neurologist and the psychologist and the medical people all joined up together. They have tried to find out what is that source of knowledge. Ultimately, very reluctantly, hesitantly, with all qualifications, they say there is something within us which lights up everything. We do not know what is that. That is your true original nature. That is the essence of the cosmos. Brahman, when you look at from cosmic proportion, Atman, when you look at it from your individualistic proportion. Tat Shubhram means Tat Shubhram means Tat Shuddham. Purest of the pure, no taint. Jyotisham Jyoti. The concept of understanding is not a product. It is your true original nature. I am Sat Swarup, I am Chit Swarup, consciousness and awareness. That is my true original nature. And the concept of effulgence depends on my understanding. I understand what effulgence is. If I don't understand, there is no effulgence for me. By way of example, a poor blind man does not know what light is. He cannot experience it because his avenue doesn't work. Hiranmaye pare koshe birajam brahmanishkalam tat shubhra tat jyotisham jyoti tat yat atmavida viduhu. How does he know? That's the last quarter of this shloka. Tat, that. What? Atmavida, the knower of the self, the experience of the self, experiences. With means to experience, with vitya, with vidu. That is the one who experiences. He experiences himself as what? Hiranmaya pare koshe vartante. Nirabirajam nishkalam brahma vartante. Tat shubhra tat jyotisham jyoti. It is absolutely pure, unpolluted, untarnished. Purest of the pure. And it is the source of all awareness. Worldly awareness through this body-mind complex and all the electronic microscopes and all that you can think of. Tat yat atmavida vidu. That is the last portion of the shloka. That which I have tried to describe to you in the previous shloka and in this shloka, that which yat atmavida, knower of the self, knows it internally, atmata and Brahma. I am Atma, Brahma is that equation. When I know myself beyond time, beyond causation, beyond all pollution, taint, tarnish, dirt, I am what I am. That amness of mind I experience as yat tat atmavida viduhu. I know that what I am. That is the sum and substance of your experience of samadhi. And there are categories of samadhi. A scientist goes into a samadhi. A research scholar goes into samadhi. There are gradations samadhi, and Patanjali has very, very, very thoroughly and correctly has summarized that. Savikalpa samadhi, savikara samadhi, savichara samadhi. Let me grade it properly. Savikara samadhi, savichara samadhi, savikalpa samadhi. With vikar, with vichar, with vikalpa. And then that nirvikara samadhi, nirvichara samadhi, nirvikalpa samadhi. And ultimately, he says, is Kaivalya samadhi. Kaivalya samadhi and nirvikalpa samadhi is just the same. That is, I know that I am that. Without saying that, I can't describe it. I am that. Because the teacher has told me, Tat Tvam Asi. Thou art that. Thou means Jiva Atma. Listen to me, Jiva Atma. You are nothing else but Paramatma or Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. Look at it inside yourself. You are Atman, and when you look up and open and see the whole cosmos, you see that essential existence everywhere. Because of its cosmic dimension, you call it Brahman, Bring Dhatu Brihat. That is the Sanskrit meaning. And Atman is with its subjective. Subjective and objective is the same. That is how the instruction is Atma Vidaha Yat Tat Vidu. First, do it within yourself. Having done so, you can look outward. So, dears, let us stop here. 2 more shlokas remain. They will, the last shloka, the 12th shloka, has nothing much of, I would say, philosophy. It will be a conclusion. The next shloka speaks about awareness and consciousness. We think consciousness is a product of our brain. That is what the scientists, the neurologists, the psychologists, or call them by any name, these group of scientists, they say it is created by a type of electricity generated by interaction in the brain cells, and we generate consciousness. That is not the end of it. Consciousness is eternal, and whenever it gets a scope, it blossoms forth. We keep on covering it up with dirt and dross. When that is removed, it shines off of its own. The second shloka, 11th shloka, will speak of that in the next discussion. Thank you, dears. Thank you ever so much.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.